Welcome to my views on news. Tuesday's first video. Main news story is from the Afar region of Ethiopia, where more than a week ago, Eritrean military and Afar militias launched a ground offensive towards Tigray on Berahle front. The ground offensive did not make progress. EDF and Afar militias, they were pushed back towards to the east of Mount Esta. Then, after regrouping, reorganizing, a new offensive has been launched on this front now. Secondly, Sudan Ethiopia border, where fighting erupted close to Matimma, which is on Amhara Sudan border. We have details for you. And thirdly, viewers, some very graphic videos are being shared by pro-Tigray news sources showing several dead bodies clad in Eritrean military uniforms. Tigray-backed sources claim that these are killed Eritrean soldiers shown in the video who have been killed on Idiabo front. We'll talk about this video. Firstly, viewers, Berahle front, Afar. We know that Eritrean military entered Afar more than a month ago, and from Berahle, Eritrean army and Afar militias, they launched a joint offensive towards Tigray. Offensive was launched from Berahle towards Mount Esta. Mount Esta was the front line. And for several days, there was intense fighting on Mount Esta and to the west of Mount Esta towards places like Logdo and Dacia. Tigray forces repelled that offensive more than a week ago. And EDF and Afar militia, they were pushed back from Mount Esta towards Berahle town. Regrouping, reorganizing was underway. And now, reportedly this morning, Afar militias and Eritrean military have launched another ground offensive on Berahle front. Mount Esta is the place again where heavy fighting is ongoing. Thousands have been displaced from close to the front lines. And we know that on this front, EDF and Afars, they have been trying to enter Tigray, and they want to move towards Agula through Dacia, through Lugdo. In their earlier offensive, they managed to reach Dacia. There was fighting in Dacia, but then the offensive was repelled. There could be small deployment of Ethiopian National Defense Force on this front, but mainly it is Eritrean military which is in charge here. And Eritrean commanders are leading this offensive. Tigray has shown some commanders, some prisoners, Eritrean military soldiers who were taken prisoner by Tigray forces on this front in the first offensive. Now, second offensive ongoing. By the way, if you watch my videos regularly, I have been predicting this offensive. I've been saying that from multiple directions, coordinated offensives towards Tigray are being launched. While from Eritrean soil, ground offensive towards Shire is underway, and EDF, ENDF has managed to reach close to Shire. Now they'll complement this offensive of Shire with other offensives from other directions as well. EDF and ENDF, they want to move towards Tigray from multiple sides. From Eritrea towards Shire, from Afar towards Agula, and from Abergale, Amhara towards Samre. These are three main directions, and maybe from Rama as well, towards Rama, Adwa, and towards Zilambasa, Adegharat as well. So all these offensives are being conducted in coordination. Since on Syria front they have made some advances, and that is why they have opened this second prong, this second offensive, which is part of, I would say, main attempt to capture Tigray. Let's see. Their first offensive failed, though they captured Mount Asta back then, and they managed to reach Dacia. Mount Asta is a large mountain where it's several mountains around 7 to 8 kilometers long. So it's difficult to capture the entire mountainous area and then to go down the mountain towards Tigray. We have seen bloody battles on this mount, on this front, since the start of this conflict in November 2020. Afar sources, Afar activists, they are saying that Tigray fighters have launched an offensive on Birhale front. I don't believe. It's not TDF which is launching offensives in Afar now. Afar militias, Eritrean military, they have been trying to enter Tigray from Abala, but we know that on Abala front, TDF is in control of some high places. So that is why TDF fights from mountains on Abala town, and it is very difficult for EDF and Afars to make any progress in entering Tigray from Abala. So they've been planning another invasion of Tigray from Birhale front. Not a surprise for me. Let's see, can TDF once again repel this attack? That remains to be seen. Secondly, viewers, the Sudan Ethiopia border where fighting erupted around 48 hours ago. Reports are coming in. Ethiopian government forces, regional forces are making some claims that they have cleared Matimma and its surroundings, where there were some bases of Tigray fighters, Gomaz fighters and Kimmat fighters. On Matimma front, Matimma, which is on Amhara-Sudan border, several Ethiopian armed groups have been operating for years. Kimmat fighters, Gomaz fighters. Now Tigray fighters are also on Sudanese soil, and some say OLA is also there. So, and these fighters have been conducting small-scale operations, attacks on Ethiopian territories from Sudan. Ethiopia has been protesting. Ethiopia has been accusing Sudan of backing, arming, supporting these attacks. And on Matimma and on Ethiopia side of the border, we have seen several attacks in the past few days. Now it is being claimed by Ethiopian government backed sources that Shukriya, which was a stronghold for TDF, for Gomaz fighters and for Kimmat fighters, it has been cleared. Shukriya is on Sudan-Ethiopia border, close to Matimma. They claim that all armed factions have been pushed out of Shukriya and other places close to the border areas, and attackers have been pushed back into Sudan after days of fighting. This front is not linked to TDF's earlier attempts to enter Volkayt. Their attempts to enter Volkayt started from areas close to Humera. Matimma is far away from Humera. So Matimma and Humera fronts are not linked, according to my understanding. Humera was a separate front. There TDF tried to enter Volkayt around a month ago. There was heavy fighting there, and Sudan ordered the closure of some refugee camp close to Humera because there was fighting ongoing close to the camp. That TDF offensive into Volkayt from Sudan failed, you can say. And now TDF is in the process of regrouping, reorganizing. It's planning another attack on Volkayt, Matimma and its surroundings. government claims have been cleared area under EDF, not EDF, under ENDF and Amhara control. Lastly, viewers, a video is being circulated by pro-Tigray news sources. Graphic video I cannot show on this channel. The video shows killed Eritrean soldiers or dead bodies in Eritrean military uniforms. Tigray fighters can be seen. They are speaking in the video and they are saying that Tigray will prevail. They thought that they would be able to enter Tigray like last time in the first phase of the conflict. But this time they'll see that Tigray will prevail. That is what these Tigray fighters are saying in this video, showing around 6-7 dead bodies of Eritrean soldiers. Eritrea denies, Eritrean activists, Eritrean viewers, some of them, they say there is no Eritrean military in this war. Saudi is lying, international media is lying, US is lying, EU is lying, everyone is lying. Just Isaias Afwerki is speaking the truth. So how can we convince them? There is no independent media in Eritrea to report, and reporting by international media is rejected by Eritrean government, their supporters, as propaganda. It means that whatever they say should be seen as truth, which is not, by the way. Eritrean military part of this offensive. And in the first round of fighting in November, between November 2020 to June 2021, we did not see lots of videos, pictures of killed, captured Eritrean soldiers. But in this third round of fighting, on daily basis, we are seeing pictures, videos of Eritrean soldiers taken prisoner and killed, wounded as well. And yesterday, AP claimed that around 100,000 soldiers of Eritrean military were part of the ongoing war.